All right, we're up. I'm going. Sir, we're up. Terry, you ready?
Are we just? I'm confused to what's going on because I got you open on two voices. Are we just audio? Or are we audio and video?
I still have your video, so we will. But you'll be talking through your phone, your regular phone. But I do have your video still on Zoom. So.
All right. Well, let's roll because it's 12:16.
Right.
I gotta get out of here.
Terry, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. A beautiful day in the neighborhood. Would you be mine? Could you be mine? Would you be my neighbor? Hey, we apologize. Had some technical difficulties trying to do this thing a little differently because I am actually, for those of you who, oh boy, those of you who could see me, my phone took a little dip.
All right.
I'm actually on my way to the swearing in of the newest city court judge, Rashid McDuffie. And I'm speaking there, having some words there. So that begins at 12:30, but I wanted to get on because there was so much to talk about. I want you to stay tuned because I have Bessie Patterson, Sister Bessie Patterson, in the studio. She's going to tell you about something exciting that's happening in our city on Sunday. Something exciting with an exciting speaker and just a full day of excitement on Sunday. So stay tuned. Listen, let me go right into it because I only got a few minutes. A lot is going on for everybody who's making money on TikTok or everybody who is addicted to TikTok. I got to be the Scrooge of Christmas for you. And I'm out here in these streets right now, and let me tell you about TikTok, and let me tell you about these streets out here because I know it's a lot of complaints, but I'm on Delaware, and it looked smooth. I was just over on Winslow, looked pretty good. Mother Nature, God is doing what God does, and But listen, they are getting the Supreme Court. If you have not heard, the Supreme Court, the highest court in the land, has said, yeah, if the government wants to get rid of TikTok, it can get rid of TikTok. So Sunday, it is possible for all of you TikTokers out there that you might not be able to TikTok. I don't know what that's going to mean. Do people make money off TikTok?
Yes, they do. A lot of money.
A lot of money?
A lot of money on TikTok. So people going to be crashing out at this funeral on Sunday.
What funeral on Sunday?
The funeral for TikTok.
It's going to be one of those funerals. You know, I love me a good funeral. I love a good funeral. But I think this is going to be one of them hollering, screaming. Do you know, I believe some people going to have withdrawals.
Oh, I know they will. I know they will.
What are they going to do? I got to find a place to park down here. I got to find a place. You know, I haven't been downtown in a government building for over a year.
Oof.
It's been over a year, bro.
It should be fun then.
I'm about to have a whole attitude. Look, I don't even pay my taxes down here. I send them in. I don't even pay my taxes. Where am I? Oh, where is the swearing in? Is it the ceremonial room?
Oh, hold on.
Oh, I don't even know where I'm going. I bet you it's not in city court. So while you're looking that up, and I know I got a flyer, but I don't know how to flip over and see my messages because I'm 60 and talk and drive all at the same time. So the Supreme Court is basically
ceremonial courtroom, 92 Franklin.
All right, so now that's even worse. This parking down here, y'all need to knock down some of these buildings and some free parking. I'm down here like regular citizen today, bro. I got to find a parking space. Can't pull up and go in the parking lot without paying and going up to the 88,000th floor. What the heck is going on in this city? But I'm so cheap. Let me tell you this. I'm so cheap. I will walk 5 blocks. So TikTok just may be off of the air. Uh-oh,
Yep.
did I find the spot? Nope, that's a driveway. Nope, that's a don't park in between. That's why I tried to get rid of as many of those don't park in between here. Don't park in between there. Don't park in between there. Man, I want to park in between them all. Just park in between. Can I pull up here? Oh, the struggle is real.
Oh.
If I park over there, I'm going to have to go like to the 99th floor.
Yeah.
Oh, y'all pray for me. Pray for me out in these streets. I wonder if I park in the except judges of the 8th Judicial District, will I have a car when I come back out?
Probably not.
Think? Probably not. And I shouldn't break the law. Okay, so TikTok is happening. And then city we gotta find out what happened to $2 million from the AARP.
Yeah.
The controller says y'all ain't spend it, and we got to send it back. Chris Scanlon says we did spend it. Come on, all you got to do is drive, bruh. Move. You know what I can't stand? This is what I can't stand. Now, I'm driving, talking, but I'm looking straight ahead. If I look down at the camera, it's when we at a halt, like now. But when people doing the most, come on, you had time. You two, stop smoking, put it down, and drive.
Oh, jeez.
Okay, so the controller says $2 million is gone. That will have to be sent back.
Yep.
The administration says basically you reading the numbers wrong, and then the administration this some stuff. The administration comes back out and says, "Hey, but the same person you got in your office is the same one who distributed." Now, this is what I'm gonna say because I told y'all I'm not there. I don't judge.
Mm-mm.
We listen and we don't judge.
Absolutely. That's what the good book says.
We listen and we don't judge. All I'm saying, I need to find. Oh, and I got to go through the metal detectors. Life get real when you ain't elected no more. So I'm about to run. No, I'm just playing. Don't start that rumor. Sir, it's a green light.
Well,
it's a green light.
That's what the guest in the studio said.
What?
That where you should have been.
Okay, I'm going in the parking lot. I'm just going. I know who your guest is. I hope we don't get cut off. I gotta go in this empty parking lot. Push this button. Hold on. Y'all hold on a minute. Everybody, hold on a minute.
If you have never experienced trying to park downtown in the middle of the day, Saints, you are getting a live view.
I mean, this struggle is real. All right, Mama. She must be going to the swearing in. She got that fur coat on. All right. She warm. You warm, ain't you, baby? She is warm. She got on that red. I ain't going to say it because then I'm going to see her in there. She look like she could beat me up. So I'm just going to shut my mouth and drive this car up to the 89th floor of this parking lot. Oh, come on, Lord. Come on. Oh.
Are you in the, well, let me not say, are you in the downstairs or are you in our normal one?
Nah, I'm over by the, for nested. What is a nested reserved only?
They paid for cheap parking.
They pay?
Yeah.
Oh, now this say full-size cars. I got a medium. So anyway, so the controller and administration, all I'm saying is this. Just find a way. You know me. Let's find a way to make it work. You know, I mean, the controller's job is to report out about finances. And if the administration is saying that the $2 million has been encumbered for the Pay Your Bills program. They said $2 million is in the Pay Your Bills program. Don't worry.
Yep.
So all I say is this. And this is how I let. Oh, come on in the room. You know, I hate backing up parking. And oh Lord, and I got all these cameras, but it's still hard. So all I say is this: work together for the good of the people, and find. We can't. It's easy to go back and forth, but if it's $2 million out there and we lost it, that's not going to be good. Because you have different groups that didn't get what they were promised when it was Christmas time. And so when it was Christmas time, everybody was being told, you get a car.
Yep.
And you get a car. Hold on, Range Rover coming toward me. You get a car, and you get a car, and you get a car. And I'm just telling the truth here. I hate parking close to other cars because they going to hit my car. They going to hit my car. But I gotta go here because I believe the Lord gave me this parking space. So you got to work together, and you got to find out, did anything happen, and if the money is truly encumbered. And if it is, then it's over. And then somebody just has to say, hey, if it's the controller who's wrong, the controller just got to come out and say, hey, you know what? I thought that too. It was only really 20 cents.
Right.
Or if the administration is wrong, the administration's got to say, hey, we ain't see it.
No.
That's what I ain't see it. That's what I ain't see it. So that's going on. Was at the state of the state address by Governor Hochul. Let me just tell y'all this. If she gets through some of the things she has said, it's going to be a blessing. Because she's talking about universal child care. And she talked about how much child care actually costs, and that the state of New York, she wants the state of New York to be able to, I wish I had all my notes, to participate. She's talking about free tuition assistance if you go to a SUNY or CUNY but check this out. Only up to age 59. What if I wanted to go back to school?
That's a dub. It's over for you, sir.
So, but I respect what she's talking about. She's talking about a lot of stuff for families, especially low-income families. And so I hope that the legislature will work with her, and that I know you don't get everything that's stated, but at least what I heard, the majority of what I heard from the governor was about, like, she wasn't afraid to deal with poverty.
Right.
And servicing families and helping people and giving money back. She's talking about, depending on how many kids you have and your income, a check basically coming back to families. And so it was a tremendous speech about the state of the state is usually about where we are as a state, but more about the legislative agenda coming up, what the governor wants to accomplish in the upcoming year. So if she's able, it's 12:29. Here I go, walking in church late. If she goes, but they got to get all the judges in. They're going to be gave up my seat. I'm going to be standing in the back. If they let me in, I'm on the program, and I'm in here talking, but I got to inform the people. But if she gets half of that, were you able to hear her speech?
I didn't get a chance to watch it. I'm not going to lie. I forgot it was on until I started.
Oh, my goodness. You forgot it was on.
I did. And honestly, I didn't know it was on until people started talking about Buffalo's own Jillian Hainsworth performing. So that was when I was like,
phenomenal.
Yeah.
She did phenomenal. I'm going to get out of the car. Let me see. Can I switch over to the speaker on my phone? Will you be able to hear me still?
Yeah, you should be. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yep.
Can you hear me?
Still got you.
You can?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So I'm not going to wear my hat. I'm not going to wear my hat. I know what y'all saying. When you get 60, that's how you get out of the car. When you get 60, you get out the car with us.
Sister Bessie agreeing with you.
She said what?
She agreeing with you on getting out the car.
Yeah, get out of that car. Oh, man. Let me see. Y'all remember where I'm at. I'm in 5B. Where I got to walk to? Oh, Lord, have mercy. I got to walk all the way across the street. I'm late. You know how people show up to church late?
You gonna hold that finger up too?
Let me tell y'all what I have. So I'm speaking for the judge, and the judge always say he go to True Bethel. So I'm bringing them some tithes and envelopes. Put me on the speak, bro. It's gonna cost you your tithes and your offering.
That's hilarious.
So that's going on. And like I said, the governor's speech was tremendous as far as what she wants to accomplish in this next legislative session. And so, like I said, if she's able to accomplish even half of that, then there are a lot of, especially parents, after you, there are a lot of parents that I think would be very, very happy, very, very happy because they say that child care is costing so much right now, like $20,000.
I believe it. I believe it.
So I mean, it's almost I don't know what you could do with the kid if you don't take it to, if you got to work, if you have to work. That's why I think it ought to be a limit on the amount of kids.
I knew that's where you was going.
A lot of kids one can have. Judge, how are you? Good to see you. They got a green light, though. They got a red light. They got, I feel. So one side has a red light, one side has a green light. And I got to stop. Now they got a green light. If anybody splashes me out here, it's going to be a problem because it's going to look like I had an accident.
Oh, geez.
Oh, you're so kind. Thank you. People are nice. As you know, as Bessie Patterson says, people don't have to be nice. And so when they are, you ought to thank them. So we got a lot going on. Hey, how you doing, brother? Get on. You too. I know. I'm on my way. I'm on my way.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are seeing the live. You are seeing a true live version of our host walking through the city of Buffalo.
And you know how fast I walk.
Yes.
So listen, I'm going to have to sign off because I got to go through this metal detector and I have to get upstairs. I want everybody to stay tuned. Bessie Patterson. Whew, let me tell you something. Just walking in this cold, and I know what people are going to say. Wear your hat. I didn't bring my hat because if I bring my hat, I'm going to leave my hat. If I leave my hat, I'm not going to have my hat.
Yes. You preaching.
All y'all late. I know I'm late. Listen, I'm going to throw it back over to the station. Stay tuned. Bessie Patterson is there. And she's going to tell you all about what's happening at Kleinhans Music Hall this Sunday. I'm taking it back over to you, Mark.
All right, Bishop, enjoy. Again, you have now been witnessing what it is like to walk through the streets of Buffalo with Bishop Darius Pridgeon. As he said, and I know I was looking at some of the comments about Bishop's ecumenical sermon from Syracuse. That is how we are ending the show, with as much as we can get in. So Kimberly, stay tuned. That will be coming shortly. But as we said, we wanted to give the space for our member, Bessie Patterson, to talk about what is happening at Kleinhans. And I'll give her the floor, and then we'll come back and ask any details and have a brief conversation. Sister Patterson, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Mark.
Just pull that mic a little closer for me. There we go.
I'm so happy for the opportunity to talk about the Martin Luther King celebration. That will be held at Kleinhans Music Hall.
Okay.
This Sunday. January the 19th at 6 p.m.
Kleinhans, 6 p.m. this Sunday.
Yes.
Is it free?
It's free.
It is a free event.
We have sponsors that sponsor this event.
Awesome.
Every year. That's why it's free. The parking is free and all of that. And we work so hard all year long to put this together so people can
Yes.
come in there and see a nice show, hear nice speeches,
Mm-hmm.
and great tributes to Dr. King. They
Absolutely.
don't have to pay for parking and all of that. That's out of the work of the committee to get all this together so you can do it. And with us having put all the work we have in this promotion of this program, it would be just sad for us
Mm-hmm.
that people don't come out and be recipients of it
Yes.
after all the hard work.
Absolutely.
So I'm pleading to Buffalo. We all know about our Buffalo Bills. We
Absolutely.
know that, and we're proud of them. But my thing at this point, since we plan all year long, and we are honoring a person that has done so much, not only just for this country, other countries, his
Absolutely.
life and things that he did has affected other countries as well. And we don't want it to go unnoticed, and we don't want it to die down if people don't have it before in their memories every year.
Absolutely.
We want to celebrate him. He deserves that celebration. So I'm appealing to people to come.
Absolutely. Is this the first time the event has been held during a Bills game?
Well, last year, when they had the snowstorm was, and they had to change theirs, and we had to change ours
Right.
also to
I
the
remember
next
that.
week, and it still was a conflict. But the Lord did that.
Yeah.
That was his work, and we couldn't do anything about it. But
Right.
other than that, we haven't had any conflict because the weather has always usually bad
Right.
on that particular time of the Martin Luther King celebration.
I was going to say it's January in Buffalo.
It's January in Buffalo.
Right.
Because when Brother Bell was doing it at Shades Buffalo, I remember going down there through all the storm and the snow and all that kind of stuff, but we still went anyway. But the Bills weren't doing as well as they are doing now, so they were conflicting with it.
Right. Right.
So this is a conflict. So my thing is that since all of these phones and tablets and things that people have, they could still come to the event, and you can watch the game on your phone and be in the presence of the Martin Luther King program. Be there, and you can
Absolutely.
still, but then you still will be supporting both of us.
Absolutely.
And so, since we are here among you, when you need us, we are here to help you. The bills are help, I guess, for whom they whatever.
Who they need to help.
I'll leave that alone.
Absolutely.
But the fact is, we are here
Yes.
among the people, and we are you able to reach us. And I'm just appealing that people just should come, make a sacrifice,
Absolutely.
and come out and
Who's the,
support. And we're having
Who's the keynote speaker for Sunday?
Brother Clifford Bell is the keynote
Wow.
speaker for Sunday.
Wow.
And just like I said, he's the one that started this celebration back over. He said he had it for about 30 years. Well, I know
Wow.
I was on his committee
Uh-huh.
for about the last 10 years
Okay.
of his presidency. And when he decided to give it up, and we thought he was just kidding. I know I did. So then when I called him in October of 2006, when he usually would start the meetings, and he said definitely he wasn't doing it anymore. And I could hardly believe it
Right.
because I was wondering, what are we going to do, So then I just made myself a committee of one, and I was trying to reach out to other people that they will have
Right.
a Martin Luther King program because I didn't want it to end.
Right.
Because we owe that to Dr. King's
Absolutely.
works that he's done.
And you've done an amazing job. And
I appreciate that.
And listening audience, Sister Patterson, she is not kidding when she says they work all year. When we were on the council, we started getting the requests almost as soon as the fall changed.
That's it. Sure
So
did.
she works all
right.
year. So don't sit home. Make sure that you support, as she said, those that serve among us.
Yes.
You can come in with a little Bluetooth in your ear. You're going to be checking the score,
Yes.
but make sure you're in the place. So who are some of the honorees and the sponsors?
Now, the honorees, I have the honorees and sponsors. I have the participants, I have everybody. I got everything. You got time to hear about them? I got time to tell you.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we'll tell you about some of the participants first.
Okay.
Some of the participants are the Tabernacle Church Choir at Archer Park, we know Bishop Robert Stern is the pastor there.
Yep.
And we have the Warriors of Worship Praise Dancer. Congressman Tim Kennedy and his daughter are going to pay tribute.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
Good.
they'll pay tribute. Sharice Freeman and the Wolfo Radio Choir.
Oh, nice.
Vibrant Strings, that's some young people that
They're
do the
amazing.
violin. Aren't they amazing?
Yep.
The Buffalo Bells, those are ladies and men that do the music with the bells.
Oh, okay.
The little bells. It's really nice. Winetta Hall, everybody know where
Yep.
Winetta Hall? And she has people that call them 716 worshipers. The African Cultural Center dancers.
Good.
Mo Badger and his church team, praise team will be there.
Okay.
Malcolm Wilson and Joshua's generation and my choir, the citywide choir, will be there. And Tracer Foy, no, Tracer Green.
I was getting ready to say, sound
Robert
like you have
Adams
sound like you
and
have a church
Valerie
over there.
Valerie Foy, all of these going to be there
Listen.
participating with us. And it's sponsored by M&T Bank, Wegman Food, Key Bank, the Fretted Buffalo World Class Acoustic Guitars, Councilwoman Zanetta Eberhardt, Councilman Rashid Wyatt, Councilwoman Leah Halton Pope, ECMC Medical Center, Connect Life, Community Health Center, and Allen Core Funeral Home. And all this you will get free. Our theme is protecting freedom, justice, and democracy in the spirit of nonviolence 365. We know that's Dr. King.
Absolutely.
And that's what he was all about. And Brother Clifford Bell is the keynote speaker. And some of our honorees are, I'm going to name all of them. Attorney Terrence McKelvey. Everybody know him.
Yep.
Donna Brown.
Nice.
John Elmore, he's an attorney also. Rosalind
Absolutely.
Taylor is receiving the Education Award. Claudine Ewan at Channel 2. Krista Fernandez Baez. Reginald Ingram and Dale Hope. We know them from Manners
Manna. Yep.
Restaurant. Rosalind Taylor. Roxanne Kubas. Brenda McDuffie. She's a former.
well deserved.
Yes, well
The
deserved.
former leader of the Urban League.
Of the Urban League. Larry Salters, we know him. He's very familiar, the musician. And those are our honorees, and they are really excited. I'm getting calls from them. They are just so excited to be honored. And we looked among the city, that's what we do every year, and find people worthy to be honored for different things that they do, because we have people in this city are very, very gifted and talented, and they are our role models.
Absolutely.
That these young people can look at them instead of them doing things they should not be doing.
Absolutely.
And they'll get a chance to see what people really are doing, and they will pattern after them instead of a lot of this stuff they see on their Facebook and on social media, all the bad things they're picking up. So we just encourage people to come out, and we will be honoring all of the youths that will be in attendance.
Awesome.
We will have them come on stage, and we'll acknowledge them too. So we're just asking everybody to come out and celebrate with us on Sunday, January the 19th, which is this Sunday, 6 p.m. sharp. The doors will open at 5 o'clock, and we will have vendors there. So bring your money, bring your little change, bring your little change, and there will be a free will offering, because we need that money to kind of offset the expenditure, because it costs a lot of money to put in a fair like this.
Absolutely.
It costs a lot of money. Just like you said, we always be getting you at early for, yes, as soon as I finish Gospel Fest.
Yep.
I
I was getting ready to say, as soon as you finish.
I start right in on the other one. And I do it because I love it. I love people.
Yes.
I love working with people. And I just wish that people just come out and just watch and look at what we are doing.
Absolutely.
We work hard to put it on. And thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. And again, this Sunday, January 19th, Klein Hands Music Hall, the Buffalo's Martin Luther King celebration. Make sure you support those that support not only our community, but are highlighting those that are doing the work in our community as Dr. Martin Luther King would. Listen, I want to just shout out our sponsors before we go to what we can get in of Bishop's ecumenical sermon. Let's talk about it from Syracuse, New York. Thank you, Dr. Hobson, the Doctor of Dry Cleaning, for keeping us on the air. Thank you to Brian K. Lewis with 3 funeral homes to serve you. Listen, again, support Black businesses, support those that support us. That's what Dr. King would tell us. So listen, we're getting ready to go to the sermon. Terry, we're just running until we are on the air over at the station, and the stream will go all the way to 1 o'clock. Until next week, power to the people.
To talk about race in America. The reason I can stand behind this holy desk and talk about issues is because October 23rd, 1964, I was born, but I wasn't just born. I was born a black baby. In 1969, I entered public school, and I didn't just go in kindergarten as a student. I went in as a black student. In 1981, when I graduated college, or high school, I didn't just graduate high school. I graduated high school as a black man. When I went to the Air Force, I didn't just go in the Air Force. I went in the Air Force as a black airman. In 1987, I received an honorary discharge to go out into the same world as my other colleagues, but I've left out of the Air Force as a black man. I'm qualified because my struggle continues. Because the one thing I can't change and I don't want to change is the color of my skin. I don't know about you, but I really am black, and I'm proud. Not only am I qualified, certified, and justified, but everybody in here who has some color in your skin is living under a rock if you don't know that you are qualified, that you are justified in order to speak up for our people. I come to talk a little bit. I want just because y'all acting real churchy, I gotta pull up a scripture. Yeah, I didn't even bring no Bible in here. Y'all done made me have to go to my phone, pull up 1 Samuel 17, where there's a giant by the name of Goliath. Y'all don't really want me to talk, but y'all gonna make me preach now. And everybody is afraid of Goliath. Y'all remember that story? I know I'm in the right house, and the Bible says he's talking a whole lot of stuff, and he says, get me somebody who can fight me. And if he's able to fight and kill me, then we'll be your servants. But if I prevail against him and kill him, then you shall be our servants and serve us. And the Philistine said, I defy the ranks of Israel this day. Give me a man that we might fight together. And when Saul and all Israel heard these words of the Philistines, they were dismayed and greatly afraid. I just want to stay right around there because I want you to notice what made them afraid. It was that they were talking about it. Let me say it again. The words made them afraid. I grew up in a time when the church, and I'm so glad to be here for this organization, because I grew up in a time when the church was the strong voice in the community. Nobody ran for public office if they did not come. I don't mean just on Sunday morning. I'm talking about they had to meet in the office with the pastor at the church. And my brothers and sisters, the problem is right now, oftentimes we let those who want to be in public office stand before our churches and they tell us their agenda, but it's time for us to tell them our agenda. Can I preach in here? I'm qualified to say it because I led the city council for over 10 years, was elected for over 12 years, and I come to tell you a whole lot of us don't pay attention to what goes on in our city halls, our state house, and definitely don't pay attention to what's going on in the White House. It's time for somebody to have a voice again in our community. It's time for those who want our votes to be afraid of our voices, because they will know that if we don't do us right, that we will open up our mouth and that we will gather together and we will fight together. What happened to the day when the clergy was the most expected respected men and women in a community. When communities knew in tragedy the church was coming through. When communities knew that when things were not going right, that there would be a voice of somebody, and when that voice was in the pulpit, it was supported by the people in the pews. Can I tell you some stuff that other politicians ain't gonna tell you? Politicians are afraid of organized power. Let me do it again. They're afraid when you have an agenda. They're afraid when you stick together with that agenda, and they hope that we fight with each other until we kill each other. I got some notes here if y'all let me give them to you. Here we are in 2025. All 50 states now are observing the King holiday. But I got to tell you something that I found out. Not all of them call it the King holiday. Alabama and Mississippi call it the King Lee Day. That means that they're not only calling it the King Day, but they're also recognizing Robert Lee. Let me tell you, you can go research it. They are now calling it after a civil rights leader and after somebody who was a leader in the Confederate flag day. On the same day, we celebrate the one who encouraged peace. They're encouraging to celebrate the one who plotted our death. Arizona doesn't just call it the King Day, but they call it the King/Civil Rights Day. Idaho won't just call it the King Day, they call it the King Idaho Human Rights Day. New Hampshire does not just call it the King Day, they call it the Martin Luther King/Civil Rights Day. Wyoming does not just call it the King Day, they call it the Martin Luther King Jr./Wyoming Equality Day, because we still got people who cannot stomach the fact that there is a holiday that's after a black man that fought for justice. But those same people call Columbus Day Columbus Day. There is no dash, there is no slash, it's only called Columbus Day. Can I talk in here? If I had to title this, and I'm almost at my seat, bro, it would be something like this: let's talk about it. If you don't mind getting churchy with me, just look at somebody and say, let's talk about it. We don't have nothing of our own anymore. On a recent form that I filled out, there was a part that said race. And it had three choices: white, black, and Latino. That was it. Black used to refer to African Americans. We don't even have that to ourselves no more, because everybody checking the black box. Please don't cancel me for my next remarks. Hear everything I've got to say. There'll be a time that when you check that black box, it was an indication that your ancestors came here on ships. When you check that black box, it was an indication that your ancestors were enslaved. When you check that black box, it was an indication that your ancestors had to fight for their rights. But nowadays, everybody's checking the black box. We need to be increasingly concerned. Now hear me, don't cancel me, because it's going to make sense. About an influx of new people moving into our country and our community. Hear me well, because I'm open to the American way. I'm open to opening up our eyes to other people, especially those who are being persecuted and killed in other countries. I'm open to that. I'm the first one to say, go ahead, let's open the door, let's love them. I love my immigrant brothers and sisters, but immigration should not make us lose sight that there are still some people in these United States of America who did not migrate here, but were captured and transported here, who still need the attention of the government and country that at times fails to understand that black Americans are still suffering. I'm I'm all for it. Let's bring them. Let's care for them. But you got to understand that we still are suffering. And so while you are taking care of other people, don't forget there's some people who've been here. Don't forget that there's some people who still need jobs. And I don't know what somebody meant when they said they taking all our black jobs. We have had to fight for every job, every opportunity, every business. So don't act like you gave us black jobs. We had to create black jobs. We had to create black jobs in soul food restaurants. We had to create black jobs in business. We had to create it ourselves with very little help. So yes, love everybody. But don't forget that everybody ain't been through what we've been through. We were beginning to make progress as we had to expose companies and industries that had no intention of progress for us. But if you've been paying attention, new administrations are coming in. They have taken something called diversity, equity, and inclusion and said, we're taking it off the table. Can I preach in here for a minute? Many black Americans got their start through such policies. The incoming president of the United States has made it clear that he is against DEI, promising to eradicate both public and private school policies, planning to cut public funding to schools that still have a curricula of race and gender and systematic oppression, intending to eliminate school administrator positions overseeing DEI, aiming to revive the 1776 Commission, which was created to promote patriotic education, seeking to abandon efforts to advance and legally defend affirmative action, planning to weaken civil rights protection, attempting to censor academic discussions about race and gender. My brothers and sisters, but don't worry so much about who's in the White House if you know who's in God's house. Because regardless of who sits in the White House, I came to tell the believing people, God is still in charge. Is there anybody here who knows he's still in charge? No, black America is not afraid of immigration. Black America is not afraid of our brown brothers and sisters. Black America is not afraid of our white brothers and sisters coming. Black America is not afraid. But let me tell you, for those who are in power who may hear, and for those who will listen, while you're renting hotels and building shelters for new arrivals, don't forget there are some who are not new arrivals who've been here and they're still trying to fight for their survival. While you're erecting tent cities, build up our inner cities. While you are renting hotel rooms for them, help with us rent, because the rent is too daggone high. While you are transporting them from city to city, build up our cities. While you are posting security outside of their places, make sure the police are in our spaces. Yes, can we talk about it? I'm saying what some of y'all think, but as I go to my close and go to my seat, you got to understand that many in this country are not worried, especially African Americans, about immigrants. I want to tell you what we're going to have to start being worried about. And you might not like it, but I got a car out there that's going to take me home. So let me tell you what we ought to be worried about. October, I spent, my son and I and a group of us in Ghana. We were in Africa. And I went to Africa for the first time in my life. I've been to Israel twice, but I only been to Africa once. I've been to Africa once. We go to Africa, and we went before the group came, and we're in Africa, and we're having a good time in Africa, and I'm watching everything. I'm in love with Africa, you know. I'm in love with the clothes. I'm in love with the colors. I'm in love with the food. I'm in love with the land. And after 2 days, I recognized something. I had not seen anybody other than dark-skinned people for 2 days. My cab driver, he was black. The person who checked me in at the hotel, she was black. The manager who greeted us, he was black. The person who served my food, they were black. The manager in the restaurant was black. All of the politicians whose posters were up looked like me. And I thought to myself, I felt bad about coming back home, because there they've realized it's all right to work together and be black. Y'all want to talk to me, but I'm going to talk to you, because right now one of the worst enemies we have is ourselves. Can I preach in here? Don't get mad at me. We will go to Denny's and get a bad meal and not say nothing, and go to a black establishment, get a little bad, something happened, and we want to get all on the internet and call them out and try to catch. One of the new enemies is ourselves. In too many areas of these United States, black people refuse to work together, instead working against people that look like them in politics, in business, and I'm gone, and in religion. In religion now, it's become popular for black people to get on social media to dog out another church. If you ain't helping build the kingdom here on earth, shut your mouth. What allows you to look at another ministry and to judge another ministry when they doing the best they can, and you ain't brought a tithe, you ain't brought an offering, you ain't swept the floor, you ain't picked up a bulletin, you ain't showed up to Sunday school? We're divided. We're divided in business, as I spoke about. We're divided in politics. We will run 80 black people for a half of an office. Won't sit down and figure out who's best qualified. Won't sit down and figure out who's best organized. Won't figure out who's going to best serve our needs. And if we are not careful, we will be our worst enemy. The song said, we shall overcome. Not me shall overcome. Can I talk in here? I'm going to my seat. Finally, my brothers and sisters, we got to be aware and afraid for our future. Our young people face challenges that many of us in this room never had to. With the elimination of DEI, some governments have turned it into DIE. Forget DEI, I just care about you die. It is already a challenging arena for our young people. Jobs, education, but please excuse my incorrect English when I say you ain't seen nothing yet. The education divide is still great. Children in inner city public schools have less of an opportunity, and this is statistical, to enter Ivy League schools than their counterparts in other places. Less money for public schools often equals less opportunity for extracurricular and academic advances. The investment in our students' education is going to be not only important but necessary for their success. When I was young, you could get a job at McDonald's. You can get a job at Burger King and all these places. You go in there, learn how to flip a hamburger, learn how to put some fries in the grease. Recently, they have just announced, McDonald's, an operation in which they need minimal workforce. You go in and you order at a screen. That's just a job loss for a young person. They don't need nobody to dump the fries now. They got robotics in the one area they're testing. That robot will put the fries in, pull the fries out, and then the food is served on a conveyor belt that is delivered to the customer. Another job for a young person. Can I preach in here the real thing? I want y'all to know the real thing. If our children are not prepared to know how to program a computer, if they are not prepared to know how to use use something more than a game system for entertainment. They got to be taught how to break down that game system and build it back up again, because times are changing. There are no more newspaper jobs. Ain't nobody delivering newspapers. That newspaper goes right to your phone. There are no more car wash jobs. You drive through and robots wash your car. We got to be concerned about our young people. Artificial intelligence is taking over right now. Can I preach in here? Young people who used to be hired to think, you ain't got to think no more. You go right over, put in a few keywords, and it'll do everything. Preachers get nervous too, because the AI writes sermons. Y'all really want me to talk? And some people are going to start going to AI for their sermon if the church does not get itself in order. Because why go to church if I can write my own sermon, preach my own sermon, and then AI my own choir to sing to me? No, the church, when we get ourselves in order, people will say, I ain't going just for a good sermon. I'm going because my church opens up their mouth and talks about the issues. My church reaches out to do something. I gotta go, I'm in trouble now. Gotta keep on talking. I was just here, Craig, get this so we can go home before they kick me out. Get those notes right there. I was just in Forsyth County. I was in Atlanta, and I stopped and I saw a sign that said Forsyth County, Georgia, in the restaurant. This was just 2 weeks ago. Not last year, a few years ago, I was in Forsyth County, Georgia. January 24th, 1987. I was there as a young man, airman stationed in Texas. I was watching CNN or one of the national shows, and there were people there who had just been beaten up in Forsyth County, Georgia, for wanting to observe the Martin Luther King celebration. I never heard of Forsyth County, Georgia. They got beat up the week before the 24th. And there were people there who were on the news, and they were saying, we're coming back next week to Forsyth County, Georgia. I was an enlisted man, so I was not supposed to be a part of any type of demonstration. But I made up in my mind, I'm on my way. I ain't tell nobody, but I went. I drove from Texas to Forsyth County, to Atlanta, outside of Atlanta. That night, Hosea Williams was speaking to us in the church. There were over 20,000 people that mobilized in 1 week. They had all of the buses from Atlanta lined up. They had the government and the guard who were guarding us, and we heard how to act. But do you know where we heard it? We did not hear it in a convention center. We heard it in a church. We heard how to link up with one another in peace, but to fight like all hell had break loose. And you know where we heard it? We heard it in a church. That next morning I got up. We had to be on the buses early in the morning. I had to do, you all might remember, a blue members only jacket, thin little jacket. We got there. All of the press was there from all over the world. The people like Coretta Scott King was with us, and Hosea Williams and Dick Gregory and Ralph Abernathy and Jesse Jackson. And we got off of those buses, and I was on the end. There was 6 across, and I was on the end, and we were singing, and there was a white couple that was with me who was holding my hands, but I only weighed like $1.25 then, so it was cold outside in Atlanta, and I was shivering. And as we got up the hill, a young boy looked over at us and called me the N-word, spit his gum out of his mouth at me, and I didn't know God like I know God now, you know, and so I got a little antsy, and that white man on the side said to me, you gonna get in between, and I'm gonna get on the end, and because you ain't gonna get in trouble. And he put me in between, inside, so that I was protected. And we walked those streets in Forsyth County, a black man and a white man and his wife and other people who believed in talking and believed in civil rights. And somebody asked me, how did you get there? I said, because people kept on talking about it. How how did you end up marching with people, and how did 20,000 people come together? Because people kept on talking about it. But I come to tell you, you got to do more than talk about it. After you talk about it, you got to be about it. And so I came to Syracuse, and I came because I want to encourage you. Keep on talking about injustice in corporate America, where the heads of Fortune 500 companies don't largely look like us. Keep on talking about the divide in education. Keep on talking about the segregation and the gentrification of our neighborhoods. Keep on talking about how some black people's goals is to separate black people from black people. Keep on talking about it. Keep on talking about extreme rental prices and unscrupulous landlords. Keep on talking about 11-year-old girls who are put in the handcuffs while they're out there making a snow angel and mistaken identity. Keep on talking about it. If you'll help me preach, look at somebody and tell them, keep on talking about it. No, don't whisper it. Look at somebody and tell them as loud as you can. Tell them, keep on talking about it. Can I tell you why you need to keep on talking about it? Because the Goliath would still have been alive if somebody hadn't told David, if we get together and somebody stand up, things will change. We got some Goliath situations, but the God I serve, the God I serve, if you will walk with him, I got a question. Won't God give you power? We're always shouting, but do you know you got power if you got a hold to God's unchanging hand? Keep on talking about it. Don't get lost. David went, fought Goliath, but he didn't even have to touch him. He did something. He took something smooth and knocked him down. You ain't got to act a fool. Just be smooth and knock the devil down. You ain't got to cuss. You ain't got to fight. Just be smooth and knock the devil down. Goodbye, Syracuse. Sayonara. Keep on fighting the good fight of faith. Is there anybody in the house that knows he's able? Tell 3 people, keep on talking about it. Tell the second one, keep on walking about it. Goliath fell. Racism has to fall if we keep on talking, keep on walking, keep on doing. God bless you, and may God keep you.
When it comes to something as personal as your clothes, you need to deal with somebody you can trust. That's why so many people turn to Hobson's Dry Cleaning, conveniently located in the heart of the community at 874 East Delavan at the corner of Wyoming.
When you take your clothes to Hobson's, you can trust that they'll be ready on time.
You can trust that your whites will be white.
You can trust that you'll always get a fair price and service with a smile.
You can even trust that you won't have to get out of your car if you don't want to. Hobson's has a drive-through window for your convenience.
Trust is what it's all about at Hobson's Dry Cleaning.
Hobson's Dry Cleaning, your one-stop dry cleaners serving the community for over 30 years at 874 East Delavan at the corner of Wyoming. Call 891-8298. That's 891-8298.
Brian K. Lewis Funeral Home has 3 locations to serve you in Buffalo: 347 Peckham, 2258 Bailey Avenue, and Providence Memorial Chapel at 1275 Sycamore. Brian K. Lewis Funeral Homes offers traditional services, and they have services for all faiths. And at Brian K. Lewis Funeral Homes, they have air-conditioned parlors and chapels. Financing is available, as is limousine service. At those difficult moments in your life, Brian K. Lewis Funeral Homes is available where you are with counseling services. Call toll-free 877-885-7734. That's 877-885-7734. Or locally 845-5545. Brian K. Lewis Funeral Homes. We are here to serve you, here to serve this present age. Call today, toll-free 877-885-7734 or email info@brianklewisfuneralhome.com.